Everyone, here we are on this review video for this assignment, right? So the assignment is called Solve the System by Graphing, okay? The instructions, as we always do, we always read the instructions, right? They say solve each system by graphing. And I've already put up the slope-intercept form of the equation up here, right? Y equals mx plus b. So we need to identify our m, we need to identify our y-intercept, our b. M is our slope, B is our y-intercept on each equation, right? So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a better color. My M on the first equation and my B on my second equation, right? And I'll pick a different color for, my B on my first equation, excuse me. My M, my slope on my second equation, and my B, my y-intercept on my second equation. So let me go back to this pink, red, and let me start by graphing my first point here. On my first equation is positive 3, so I'm going to go to positive 3, which is between 2 and 4 here, right there. And my slope says positive 1 over positive 2, so that means go up 1. And then to the right 2. And there's my second pink point. And I'm going to go down to shape, insert line, and I'm going to go from my first pink through my second pink all the way through. And from my second pink all the way through the first pink point, all the way through. Right? Go back to drawing and do arrows on each side. Right? So now I'm going to go back to blue here, and I'm going to do my second equation. So I start on negative 6 is my y-intercept. So I go down to negative 6 and I put my point there. And this says go up 13 and over 8 actually. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then to the right 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? So there's my second point there. Right? So, wait, did I go up? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, no, 13, right? 13 and over 8. Okay. All right. Good. Just want to make sure. Go to my shapes. I'm going to pick green this time for my first blue all the way through my second blue. And from my second blue all the way through my first blue, and I end there. Go back to my shapes and I drew my arrow and my arrow there. Okay, so where do they cross? It looks like they cross on, I don't know, 9, I don't know, 8.5 and 7.5. Maybe. Okay, so 8.5, comma 7.5. Right? So that's the difficult part about these graphs, is sometimes the answers are not reliable, right? Because I feel like I graphed it correctly, right? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm graphed it wrong, but I think I did. But the answer is unreliable, but there's nothing much we can do, right? So let's do the second equation. So let's go back over here and let me pick green this time. And I'm going to circle my M, my slope, and I'm going to circle my B, my y-intercept. Go back and go traditional black here. My M, my slope, and my B, my y-intercept. So first I'm going to go with the first equation, my y-intercept is 3. So I go to 3 and I graph 3. And I'm going to go up 4 over 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1, 2, 3. And this is my second point right there. Right? So I'm going to go over to shapes, and I'm going to go insert line, and I'm going to pick a purple line from my first green through my second green point, and from my second green point all the way through my first green point. Right? Go back to drawing, and I'm going to draw in arrows on each side. Look at that. All right. Now my second equation, my y-intercept is -4, so I go to -4 here like this. And I'm going to go up 1. My slope is 1 over 6. So up 1 and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And there's my second point. So go to shapes, and I'm going to pick dark blue for my first black point through my second black point, and from my second black point through my first black point there, right? Go back to and draw my arrow, and they touch right here. Look, this is where they cross. So what point is this? This is -6 on the x, -5 on the y. So where they cross is, oh, that was a horrible line. It's supposed to be a parentheses. -6, comma, -5. Look at that. There you go. Those are the first two. Done. Look at that. All right. So, same idea for the next few. Okay. So let's go here. All right. So let us identify our slope here, which is -1, right? This is a divisible -1. And -2 is our y-intercept. And then our slope here is 3, and our y-intercept is -6. So let's start with this top equation. So -2. So we're going to put a point on -2 here. Now here there's an invisible -1 over 1, right? So that means goes down 1 over 1. And there's my second point right there. So I'm going to go to my shapes, and I'll go with black. From my first black point to my second black point, I go all the way through. From my second through my first, I go all the way through. Draw, arrow, and arrow. Right? Okay. My second equation, I start on -6. Okay. So I start on -6 here. And this says +3, but as a fraction, it's 3 over 1. So I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and to the right 1. And look at that right there. So I'm going to go to my shapes. I'll go to my colors, and I'll go to this yellow here for my first yellow all the way through. From my second yellow through my first yellow point all the way through. And go back to my drawing and arrow, arrow, and where do they cross? Where do they intersect? Right there, right? And that is +1 on the x and -3 on the y. So +1 on the x, -3, comma, -3 on the y. Right, there you go. Look at that. That's number 3. Okay. Let's do number 4. So let's pick blue this time. Negative 9 is my m, is my slope. 8 is my y-intercept, my b. Okay. Negative 10 over 9 is my slope. And negative 1 is my b, my y-intercept, right? So let's start with the first equation, positive 8. Positive 8 is right there. And my slope says negative 1 down 1 over 9. Down 1 and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And look at that. That's where they cross. Go down to my shapes. I'm going to pick green. I'm going to go from my first blue point through my second blue point, and from my second blue point all the way through my first blue point. Just like that. Look, all the way through. Go back to my drawing, draw my arrows, and there's my line. Okay. My second equation here is negative 1, so I'm going to go down to negative 1 here. Okay. Now this says down 10. Now negative 1, if I go down 10, I'm going to go to negative 11, so there is no negative 11. So I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to go up 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then instead of going to the right 9, I'm going to go to the left 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And there's my second point right there. So go to shapes and go to black. From my first pink point through my second pink point, sorry. And from my second all the way through my first, all the way through. And go like that. And go back to my drawing and arrows. And arrows. And where do they cross, everyone? They touch right here, right? And this is negative 9 on x and positive 9 on the y. So negative 9 on the x, positive 9 on the y. Look at that. And that's what that looks like right there. Still, it was a little bit off right here, right? It wasn't right there, but I just took a guess. I did an estimate. I mean, not a guess, right? But an estimate. Okay, so there's 4 done. There's the first 2 on the first page, second 2 on the second page, and let us do the last 2, kiddos. Okay, so let's pick some colors. Pick some other colors. Look at this. Let's go with purple. Save. There we go. So, wait, what? What happened there? Undo. There we go. There's my M, my slope. There's my 5, my B. Okay, let's pick another color as well. Let's go with, what do you think? This region blue, right? No, we already have region blue. Let's go with dark blue here, this one. Okay. So that one right there. So 9 over 4 is my slope, and negative 1 is my b, excuse me, my y-intercept. So let's go with purple here for the first equation, 5. So let's see, positive 5 is right there. So this says I need to go up 9 and over 4, but I cannot go up 9. So I'm going to go the opposite, down 9. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then to the right 4, but I did the opposite, so I'm going to go to the left 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there's my second purple point. So I'm going to go down to shapes, and I'm going to pick this blue right here. So from my first point, let me zoom out a little bit so I can go all the way through. From my first purple point all the way through my second purple point. And from my second purple point all the way through my first purple point. Go back to draw, and I have arrow and arrow. Look at that. All right. Now I'm going to pick this blue here that matches that, right? So my B is -1, so I'm going to go down to -1 here, and I'm going to mark my point. Up 9 over 4. I can go up 9. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Up 9 and over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's my second point here. Look at that. So I'm going to go to my shapes. I'll go to this pink/red from my first dark blue through my second dark blue, and from my second dark blue all the way through my first dark blue, like that. Go back, and I'm going to arrow, arrow, and what in the heck just happened here? What's up with these lines? What do you call this? You guys remember what we call this? This is called parallel. These lines will never touch, right? These lines will never touch because look, they have the same slope. These are parallel lines. They do not intersect, right? These lines will not intersect. There is no common solution, right? Finally, last problem here. Number 6, let's stick with the same colors here. Oh, you know what? No, let's pick a different color. Let's go with an orangey. There's no orange around here, so let's do this orange here. Save. So here it is. So -12 over 5 is my slope, and +4 is my B, excuse me. And let's go with this is like a brown. Okay, that works. And for my second equation, -2 over 5 is my M, my slope, and -6 is my B, my y-intercept. So let's go back here and use our first orange, +4 here. So this is +4 is my y-intercept, my B, down 12 over 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Right there. Go to my shapes. I'm going to pick green. So I'm going to go from my first orange or red or whatever it is that I chose through my second orange, and I'm going to go from my second orange/red through my first orange/red. Go back to drawing, arrows and arrows. Very Christmassy, right? Look at this, very Christmassy. Okay, brown. -6 is my y-intercept, so -6 here is right there, and this says I'm going to go down 2 over 5. Down 2, 1, 2, and over 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Look at that right there. Go down to my shapes, and I'm going to pick this dark blue here. From my first brown point through my second brown point, I'm going to go here, and from my second brown point through my first, Go here, back to drawing, arrows, and arrow. And where do they touch, kiddos? Where do they cross? Right here, right? And that is positive 5 on the x, negative 8 on the y. So, positive 5, comma, negative 8. And there we go. Look at that. That's number 6. And that right there is this worksheet done. There are 5 and 6. There is 3 and 4, and there is 1 and 2. Make sure you rewind or pause in order to make sure that you have everything perfectly done, just like mine, before you hit turn in right here. All right? Thank you for being here.